Chicago City volunteers distribute hot food for homeless people at a church. We learn from experts ways to disinfect used masks with a rice cooker. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. Tzu Chicago chapter holds a monthly hot meal event for homeless people at a local church. The event has been going on for more than 10 years. However, the recent epidemic has frightened many people from going out. Nevertheless, after Tzu volunteers prepared themselves for the epidemic, the event continued as usual.
Volunteers wear masks and pray sincerely. This is an epidemic period, but Tzu volunteers in Chicago still carry out a monthly hot meal service for the homeless at a local church.
The food is great, healthy options to what we normally get, so yeah, pretty good.
And it's nice to see that the community is doing stuff for other people, and you guys are not just looking out for your own race, you're looking out for everybody and everybody. I just thought it was really nice of you guys.
In addition to the hot meals, volunteers also give to them winter clothing and also best wishes from Master Zheng Yan and Tzu volunteers from around the world.
There are 3 rice seeds. This represents the love of the seed. So we want to plant the seeds of the love to everywhere in the whole world. So there will be no hatred, no conflict, only just peace and harmony.
Well, I appreciate the gift. It also says, do good deeds and make good wishes each and every day. And I plan on doing that.
Some homeless people turn the power of blessing into action, so they can also pass it on to anyone who needs it in any corner of the world.
A fire occurred in a residential area in West Jakarta, Indonesia. A total of 81 families became homeless. Volunteers brought in aid supplies to help them get through the tough times.
The fire in the community of Tamasali burned up 39 houses and affected 81 families.
The fire was discovered by a child. When he saw it begin burning, the child immediately tried to extinguish it with water, but the fire became more and more intense. Later, when the child's mother saw the fire, they hurried to escape and shouted loudly to let the neighbors run out.
After the disaster, police officers, soldiers, and sanitation workers went to the community to help the affected households clean up. Tzu Chi Indonesia also mobilized volunteers to investigate the disaster. The 62-year-old Atika remembers the fear of that day.
Naik ke atas, oh iya, si itu tidur di atas.
I saw a lot of smoke coming out and my grandchildren were still sleeping. I immediately ran upstairs and called them up. We panicked while escaping and had no time to grab anything.
Affected residents now live in a temporary tent. Volunteers brought them living supplies, solving urgent needs.
Perasaan kita ikut prihatin ya.
Most of the victims of the disaster have poor economic conditions, so we provide them with emergency supplies and remind them to use electricity carefully in the future.
Recently, a carbon monoxide poisoning accident took place in a building in Taichung City. The family of 5 were sent to the hospital for treatment. They were later discharged, yet the seniors were still in shock. So the volunteers went to care for them.
One of the households of these housing units in Nanhe Road, a 16-year-old boy felt dizzy halfway down with his bath. He stopped it and came out to check, and found that his grandpa and grandma were already lying unconscious in the living room.
I heard that my foreign helper said she did not feel well. Then I thought it must be carbon monoxide poisoning. I quickly put on my clothes, rushed out, and saw everybody was in trouble.
Although the heater is outside the house, when the firefighters arrived, they measured a high concentration of carbon monoxide inside the house.
My wife fainted first, then a while later my son and foreign helper also went down.
The grandma and grandpa are quite calm, only the blood pressure of grandpa was a bit high.
When the seniors were discharged from the hospital in the morning, they still didn't dare to rest. Tzu Chi volunteers went to care and stayed with them. The Chen family leaves the resources to those who need it more. The old water heater at their home is also replaced with a new one to prevent the accident from happening again.
In the aftermath of floods in Jakarta, 100 teenage students from Tzu Chi school cleaned the campus. Let's take a look.
On the first day of school day, 100 Tzu conduct campus cleaning tour due to previous flooding in Jakarta, Indonesia.
After cleaning, there will be fewer mosquitoes, making me understand the meaning of not littering.
Dan bahkan hampir seluruh daerah di Indonesia mengalami.
We have just gone through the floods in Jakarta, and the garbage will remain after water recedes. So we hope our children can learn how to keep the environment clean and develop good hygiene and cleaning habits.
Kembali kepada kita semua untuk lebih mencintai alam.
Learning from doing, realizing through learning, and act upon realizing, wholeheartedly contributing their efforts, we believe that it's possible for these children to live a pure land for the earth.
While the Taiwan Lantern Festival is being held, it is hot in daytime but cold in the evening. City volunteers who serve in the Tzu Chi section wear scarves and winter clothing to stay warm. In addition, volunteers in Taichung provide them with hot ginger tea. I have heating pads and ginger candies in case it is too cold.
The evening is at least 5 or 6 degrees colder than the daytime, so people have to wear thick jackets to see the lanterns. Volunteers knew the temperature fluctuated greatly when they began setting up the exhibition.
During Lunar New Year, I also came to decorate the site, and around 4 in the afternoon it became cold. You felt the wind pierce your bones.
Hot ginger tea can keep them warm when it is cold. Volunteers boil ginger together with brown sugar and water for ginger tea. They usually make 1 pot daily, but 2 to 3 pots on the weekends.
We hope to see that the whole pot is empty when we come.
The lanterns here are very pretty, so are the volunteers' minds, because they explain everything in detail to every visitor.
I'm amazed because I didn't know this could be made into them. I'll cherish these resources.
Volunteers are passionate because they want to use the power of goodness to promote environmental protection to everyone.
In Sri Lanka, Tzu Chi's routine food distribution once a month helps alleviate the financial burden of care recipients. It also holds a children's growth class for their children, providing them with spiritual assistance and planting seeds of kindness in their minds.
Tzu Chi holds a regular monthly food distribution in Colombo, Sri Lanka.
Before, I used to pick up paper boxes along the road to make money. Until March last year, Tzu Chi made me their care recipient, which helps me and my family a lot.
Food will be finished sometime, yet the hearts of the local residents have changed a bit.
When we came across difficulties in life, Tzu Chi has built a bridge that helps us cross the river safely. We must remember to give back in future.
To relieve the hard life of the local residents, volunteers have hosted a class for the children in the care recipient families.
I'm very happy to join Tzu Chi Children Growth Class. I've learned a lot. We need to help others and learn the team spirit and take care of the children who are younger than me.
Receiving or giving is just a process. Love and kindness are the continuous driving force which makes people move forward.
In Malaysia, there have been a total of 18 confirmed coronavirus patients. Among them, 3 patients have recovered and are discharged from the hospitals. Let's take a look at how the Malaysian government has taken measures to prevent the spread of virus.
武汉肺炎肆虐，使得多个国家陆续出现新型冠状病毒确诊和疑似病例之后，全球各国都加强预防措施，我国也不例外。
On January 22nd, the government started to guard out arrival halls, measuring the body temperature of the visitors. On January 23rd, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs gives warning, telling people to avoid traveling to Wuhan or other areas affected by coronavirus. On January 24th, the first confirmed coronavirus case appeared in Malaysia. Ministry of Health has discovered 3 confirmed patients who are tourists from Wuhan.
国内出现了第4宗武汉肺炎确诊病例。
On January 27, the government forbid Chinese tourists from Wuhan and Hubei from entering Malaysia. On January 28, the government set up temperature monitoring system at immigration halls. It also set up a special immigration path for Chinese tourists. The Ministry of Health has selected 26 hospitals to treat or quarantine coronavirus patients or suspected patients.
卫生部刚刚通报，我国再增加1宗武汉肺炎确诊病例。
沙巴州政府议决，即日起暂停所有从中国飞往沙巴的航班。
On February 1st, 40 Beijing students have returned to Malaysia, but they need to be quarantined at home for 14 days. On February 4th, special flight has arrived at Kuala Lumpur International Airport. The 133 passengers must be quarantined for 2 weeks. Among them, 2 people could not pass the test and were sent to Kuala Lumpur Central Hospital.
是最新确诊的一名40岁本地女子，那她是大马第1宗本土感染病例。
我国再加大力度防堵新型冠状病毒，政府决定扩大旅游禁令。
Visitors who have been to Hubei, Zhejiang, and Jiangsu within the last 14 days are forbidden to enter Malaysia. This ban applies to people of all nationalities. On January 24th and 25th, the 4 confirmed cases in Malaysia and a total 8 confirmed patients found before January 30th are tourists from China. On February 4th, the first Malaysian was confirmed as coronavirus patient. 2 Malaysians who returned from China are also confirmed cases. On February 6th, the first human-to-human transmission has taken place in Malaysia. Until 10 a.m. on February 10th, there have been a total of 18 coronavirus patients in Malaysia. Also in Malaysia, Indians recently celebrated an important festival, conducting a parade to worship the god of war. Although the novel coronavirus is still spreading globally, thousands of people still join the parade. Let's find out how we can raise people's awareness of the virus. The magnificent and lavish-looking kavadi is the moving sacrifice altar. The devotees wash and purify their bodies. They pierce iron hooks into their bodies and then carry kavadi, dancing to the music of the parade. This ritual shows their determination to repent. Although novel coronavirus is spreading worldwide, very few people in the crowd are wearing masks.
Coronavirus kita tahu daripada China.
Kita tahu itu adalah satu penyakit berbahaya.
It's a virus that are harmful for people.
然后你会发烧。
Satu dunia sudah mau goyang.
Kalau ikut internet, makanan hewan liar.
Dalam environment yang banyak orang ada.
Eye contact and then our breathing sense.
有人这样几秒钟这样就可以感染到。
Balik-balik mandi bagi jaga bersih-bersih, itu sajalah.
1 kali 2 hari pun mandi ada juga.
Kena ambil kio apa-apa, kena mandi bersih-bersih.
1 hari 3 kali 4 kali mesti ada mandinya.
我回去我就直接冲凉啊、洗澡，通通都做。
1 hari 5 kali pun mandi ada juga.
Semua tempat serius, duduk rumah.
Since we need to wear the mask, hand sanitizer more important. Then wash your hands before take your meals.
In the busy market, few people are wearing masks.
Why you don't wear a mask?
Why don't I wear a mask? Good question.
蛇絲招好開啦，因為除咗就是除咗了。
马来西亚的天气比较热，不会传染到我们的啦。
如果我们戴了，我会怕人家讲我们已经中了。
我成日話本貼咗啲啊，唔使。
We have fever, only they wear, not us. You only need to wear a mask if you are sick.
天气比较炎热的时候呢，病毒可以维持它的活动力的时间就短了很多。
When the weather is hot, the time that virus remains active is shortened. In other words, the time it can infect people is shortened. The virus cannot endure heat and ultraviolet light. As we know, ultraviolet light can kill bacteria, so it helps slow down or stop the growth of the virus.
当政府他觉得情况在他们无法
When the government thinks they cannot well control the conditions, it will give out warnings and ask the organizer not to hold the event.
自己本身当然是要
Of course, we should wear masks. Wear masks if you are ill. If you go to crowded areas with a lot of tourists, protect yourself. Be aware. Wash your hands frequently.
Although for most people the epidemic might sound distant, but we should stay vigilant and protect ourselves against the spread of the virus. The Penang City government held a city walk event and had vegetarian breakfast at the Tzu Books and Cafe. Let's join them there.
The city walk starts on this street in Penang. What is special is that city government officials arrived at the Tzu Books and Cafe for their first vegetarian breakfast of the year.
And surprisingly, it's all veggie. Very surprised because it tastes like, when you bite, it tastes like you eat meat, but then it's veggie.
Dishes on the table are tasty and colorful. There are local delicacies and also fresh fruits. Dishes made with Jiangsu food products are easy and convenient to make, so participants are deeply impressed.
The food that I tasted today, very healthy, very nice, tasty, so a very good experience, yeah.
The services, the friendliness, and the atmosphere here is all fantastic. I give you all thumbs up. I will encourage all my friends, I will share to everybody, yes, to eat healthy food and to enjoy the atmosphere here.
Vegetarian meals can be very fashionable and also healthy, so we should be vegetarian for the earth.
According to the Ministry of Health and Welfare, there are more than 4,000 people in Taiwan suffering from cerebral atrophy. In addition to heredity, the cause of the disease may also be environmental pollution. In recent years, the number of patients has increased. In August 2019, a patient revised previous brain donation procedures to further research in this area.
From youth to adulthood, Shu Shu is a cute and lively girl in the eyes of many.
自从那之后，他的心就很难过。
Since the time of cerebral atrophy, her heart has been very sad. At that time, also encouraged her to participate in activities. She slowly opened her mind and saw that there were many patients like us in the same situation, and she was gradually able to accept such diseases. She would call on her classmates to tell them how to cherish life, as this life is very valuable.
Shu Shu had a desire to donate her brain to save other people, which helped change a legal admission in Taiwan.
Brain donation is subject to some checks and regulations. Why did it take us 20 years to do a brain bank in Taiwan? This includes changing the law, but because Shu Shu's condition suddenly deteriorated, we hope to do this brain donation procedure quickly.
The former anatomical corpse regulations said that within 6 hours of the patient's death, he or she must report to the prosecutor for an autopsy, and the doctor must not take the brain.
If the patient dies, even if it signs a consent form willing to donate an organ, within 6 hours, different inspection systems in Taiwan forbid a doctor to do any organ removal.
The brain's RNA degradation is very fast, so if brain donor dies after a long time, the RNA degrades, and the research we do it is more difficult to receive accurate biological information.
So a group promoting the brain bank promoted a change to the law, hoping that the legislature would have an amendment so that brain donors would not be restricted in making such a donation. Did not expect the government unit, this time being the Medical Affairs Department of the Ministry of Health and Welfare, made administrative clarification regarding Shu Shu's brain donation, which did not need a modification of the law directly, and made flexible adjustments to the brain donation process.
This level of regulations and restrictions on brain donation timeframe is equivalent of a breakthrough.
让
研究者。
Brain donation allowed researchers, doctors, or basic scientists to see what actually changes in the brain before they can find a treatment.
治疗的方式。
The Brain Bank plan is to have the headquarters at the National Health Research Institute in Miaoli, and brain banks will be established in Taiwan's northern, central, southern, and eastern regions.
Although hospitals around the country will collect the brains, all of the data is connected together so that all of this information is connected in Taiwan.
The medical profession, patient groups, and government officials have jointly promoted Taiwan's brain bank, but the most important promoter is Shu's family. When asked why she insists on donating her brain, Shu couldn't speak, so she used her curled fingers to type an answer on a tablet.
希望更多人能够受益。
如果我怎么样的时候，
My daughter said that if something happens to me, I hope that my organs can be donated to needy patients. This is what my daughter said.
Only by deciphering the secret to her illness can we find effective treatments and relieve the suffering of patients and family members. Shu's life may not be long, but it is meaningful. Her mother had difficulty giving up.
谢谢妈妈。
这不是你的错。
It's not your fault or your father's fault.
这是一种基因的。
It's a genetic problem.
我都知道。
I know that it is hard. My life is hard. You have it even harder.
辛苦。
Life should not be an extension of tragedy, but the beginning of happiness. So in her last mile of brain disease treatment, she wanted to establish a brain bank.
After my death, I've thought about signing organ donation form. Yes, I've thought about it and wanted to donate my brain in the future.
您会考虑吗？
Will I consider brain donation? Yes, I would do it because I want to contribute to society.
可以为社会做贡献。
You can do a lot of brain research on animals, but in the real human world, we need human brains to experiment with. Human brain banks are needed at this time.
Technological progress and exploration of space continues, but human beings still have little understanding of their own brain operations. This may be because there are too few research samples, and the success or failure of the brain bank in the future depends on everyone's participation.
To celebrate the 80th anniversary of Kaohsiung Shipu Elementary School, illustrators have taught students ways to paint their school walls. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.